Hello everyone, this is James. I'm back for what is now day 6. If you've been following along so far, thanks for still keeping on watching, and if you're new, this is just a series where I'm trying to build up a bit of a viewership to get behind my writing, just to see if I can encourage people to read my writing, or as well maybe write themselves. So I've said it before, but it is a bit of a shameless method of trying to raise some awareness. But I think there are lots of authors or lots of wannabe authors, especially like myself, who think they have a decent amount of skill at writing, or think they're at least okay, but don't have a good way of getting their voices out, and can easily just kind of go under the radar. So this isn't to say that I think I deserve to be, one of the people that automatically gets on the radar, but I don't want to also go in the other direction and think that I'm automatically not one of the people that should be on the radar. So I'm doing this as a way of making sure I get myself out there a bit, and it's definitely me exiting my comfort zone quite a bit, because I'm not a super extroverted person. Obviously I like going out and socializing, but I'm not the type that really wants to stamp themselves on the internet. I think that takes a lot of ballsiness and courage that I don't really have myself in that regard. I haven't really posted on Instagram until recently for over a year. I find it quite nice just to sort of slip out of the radar and just try to be myself and focus on my stuff. But I guess what has sort of inspired this series as well is that I've begun to worry that by doing that method of being a bit of a writerly hermit and keeping to myself, I will never get close to having anyone know about my writing. So this is me fighting against, I guess, myself to try to get my writing out. But so far, the things I've read, the comments have been very helpful. I think firstly, just making sure that I don't go too crazy. I don't overexert myself, and that I don't be too critical of myself as well. I think those things were quite helpful. I guess trying to upload one video every day is maybe a bit against the idea of having a healthy balance, but I think as long as I keep the videos as crappy and unedited as they currently are, it will remain pretty manageable. So that's my intention there. Not to make them just god awful, but just sit down and try to chat and keep it pretty informal. Because I actually did used to do more YouTubing. It was back in 2013, 2014, and I tried to do more comedy style videos and do skits and that kind of thing. I think they were very popular on YouTube at that time, so I tried to do that, and I guess I was probably 12 or 13 at the time, and yeah, they never. It was more fun to make them than it was to publish them. They didn't really do anything or go anywhere, and that kind of faded off. But that kind of loops back, because I guess this is my first really earnest try at using this medium, but not my first. And so yeah, it's good to be putting out videos again, and really nice to be getting some feedback from people. So yeah, if you have more advice or anything more you'd want to share, then please write it into the chat, and yeah, I'll keep on reading, because that's been really helpful. But yeah, I bring up YouTube because I know it's a bit of a difficult beast to tame. You have to be pretty persistent, I think, and have a good amount of sort of awareness of how to capture people's attention. So I guess it's not only a test of how adamant I can be about putting myself out there, but also a test of how willingly I can push myself in front of people's eyes. Because I think the scariest thing to imagine is being someone who you just can't get away from. Like, I don't know if anyone who was already subscribed has experienced this so far, but if I'm just posting these daily videos, it just feels like a bunch of cockroaches on your screen because you just can't ever evade them. So I don't want to become that level. I don't want to become a nuisance at all, but particularly not anything like that. I would rather just have this series as something that people can tap into whenever they want, and not make it seem as though it's too big of a gambit for everyone's attention, but at the same time not completely miss people's attention. Because I'll willingly confess that, yeah, while I do find myself avoiding the spotlight, or just avoiding putting myself out there more than necessary, and this is what I do, and I get validation for that as obviously a great feeling, just knowing that people are out there supporting you, and knowing that they want to see you get to where you want to go. It's definitely, I mean, I'm reluctant to say ego boost, but it is a bit of an ego boost. Like, it does make me really think, yeah, like, I can do this, and it helps, I think, solidify my resolve a bit. But it also sort of makes it feel like I can't just drop it anymore. Like, I'm not just myself who I'm letting down. Like, obviously I have the biggest stake in it. No one really wants me to make this as much as I do. I'd be concerned if they did, but I guess it just means there's more than one person that I'd be disappointing now, I guess, which is like a weird but useful motivation. But yeah, circling back, I guess it's just nice to have a way of being out into the public eye, being seen as someone who's going for this goal, and being sort of spreading awareness about it. So I'm not just chasing my own tail. I have a bunch of other people chasing my tail, but in a kind way, not like trying to snap at it, but just ushering me on and making sure that I don't do myself wrong. So it's definitely helping to light a fire beneath me and get me going, which is good. But it is still a medium I think I'm far from mastering. Back in the old YouTube days, when I was like 13 or 14, I would spend a lot of time trying to edit things and merge it together and make it look really nice. And I gained an appreciation for people that had a big following already, because that it was just a lot of technical skill, trying to make everything very seamless and keep people's attention. So I think if I did try to get back into that period of loss of editing, it would not only make the videos probably less enjoyable, because I just don't have that kind of technical ability on the same level as many other people on the platform, but I also think it would decrease my own enjoyment. It's quite nice for it to just be low stakes and just be able to come out and essentially yap. So, but I could also understand why other people, or most people, would perhaps enjoy content that's a little bit more sort of manicured and has a bit more, I guess, structure and point to it. I think I just have this more vague point in every video, sort of just these arrows that somewhat point in the direction of becoming a writer, but don't necessarily all align. It's a bit all over the place. So maybe that will change over time. But my current feeling is that I'll keep trying to do these daily uploads, and I'll keep reading what people say, and try to use that to help define and align my compass as I go forward. So I appreciate everyone who has already been clicking the buttons and making it clear that they support the idea. I was worried that I would put it out there and then it would be sort of accused of being a pretty hollow attempt at grabbing attention, which I guess in a way I could understand if that's what people feel, but that isn't what I think it is. I think there's definitely some, I mean, there's all the writing I'm doing in the rest of my time, and I think there's a very genuine desire that underpins the videos, but I guess it was just natural that I'd be a bit self-conscious about how I'd be perceived, but it seems like so far it's been all good, so I really appreciate that, and I should probably not worry so much about what people are thinking of it, but the fact that people seem to be looking at it positively feels very reinforcing, and I do feel really good about that. So thank you very much, and if you've made it this far, please yeah, keep following along, keep letting me know what you think. Please keep on liking too. I appreciate that, and yeah, I'll keep on pushing the vids out. So I appreciate it.